Hey everyone, just know that you can use the promo code BROADS for $20 off of your SeatGeek's total purchase, so make sure you get yourself to a game. The Phillies made the right move? They hired Joe Girardi as their manager? This can't be real life. I can't believe the Phillies made a move that made sense. Unbelievable. How about it? Joe Girardi is now your skipper for the Philadelphia Phillies, and this puts a smile on my face. Here it is. Here's my smile. It's on my face. This team is still flawed in terms of the roster, and we do need to make a ton of moves. We do need to get starting pitching. We need a bullpen. We need more players who can actually perform at a higher level. That's obvious, but this is a difference maker because we now have a culture, a different culture, a culture that makes sense. Gabe Kapler, what he did, he was a friendly manager. He was your best friend or your ex-teammate for some of these players, and it just didn't work right. He was too loose. He wouldn't be real with the players. It was all, you're doing a great job, Reese. Reese, you went 0 for 25 in your last at-bats. That's not good. But Gabe would say, you're doing a great job. No. Cut the crap. We need someone who will tell you how it is, who won't stand up for all the garbage. And that is exactly what Joe Girardi is. He's experienced. He has 11 years managerial experience. 988 and 794 is his record in those 11 seasons. 10 with the Yankees. We know he beat the Phillies in the World Series in 2009. And he had one season with the Marlins where they didn't perform very well statistically in terms of record, but based off of their talent, it was a great job and actually won NL Manager of the Year with a trash record. So the guy understands the sport of baseball. He's a legit baseball guy. He's experienced. He's been in tons of positions, and he's been in so many different moments where he understands because he actually has been there before. Gabe was learning on the job. Well, I don't know if we can do that right now. We need someone who knows how to work a clubhouse, knows how to send a message, who has a message that is very respected because he's been around for so long. This is the perfect match for what the Phillies need right now. They need a leader. They need a boss, and listen, he does have a little bit of hardness to him, if you will. He's not going to be all, hey, you're doing a great job all the time. He does have a sense of holding people accountable, and that's what you need. But he's not this evil dude either. He's not this mean-ass guy all the time. He's a perfect mix. He will get on you if you're not performing good enough. If you're not going to hustle, he will make sure the next time you will hustle, or he will sit your ass if you're not giving 100%. But at the same time, he's going to be your friend. He's going to be your manager. He is the perfect mix. And speaking of mix, it's the same with analytics. Girardi will use analytics, and that's totally fine. That's how it should be. In today's era of baseball, you need to use analytics. It is a very powerful thing. But he's not afraid to mix in his gut as well. He is a combination of both. And once again, I believe that is a perfect system. You can't use it as the Bible, which is what the Phillies have done, but you still need to use it. You can also use your gut and it still be effective. The options were Buck, Girardi, Dusty Baker. I love the Girardi move, but here's the issue. Reports came out that Matt Klentak and Andy MacPhail wanted Buck because Buck Showalter and them, they've have a connection. They've been involved with each other before. They've worked together before. That makes sense. But John Middleton wanted Joe Girardi, which is the correct move, may I add. So now, once again, the owner of the team has stepped over his GM. I would want him to do that because he's making the correct moves. But what does that tell you about Matt Klentak and Andy MacPhail? They literally have no say anymore. You have the owner calling the shots. We are firing Gabe. I don't care if you want him, Matt Klentak. We are hiring Joe Girardi. I don't care that you want Buck, Showalter, Matt Klentak. When you think of it big picture, well, why is your owner stepping in? I do agree, right? Like, you should have people in place to do their job, and you should trust them to do your job. That's the point of having an organization with structure. But I'd rather John Middleton step in and pull the right strings than say, whoa, I signed Matt Klentak to an extension, so I at least have to give him a shot to make it right. No, because he's going to mess it up. he's going to mess it up. Not that Buck Showalter would have been a horrendous hire, because it wouldn't have been horrendous, but Joe Girardi is the perfect mix. You're going to need someone in that clubhouse to set the tone. It's going to be a completely different message. These guys are used to getting away with murder with Gabe Kapler, hearing stories about playing Fortnite in the middle of games and all that. No. When you go to the ballpark, it's all business. The mood has changed. You're going to have to be prepared. You're going to have to be focused. Or guess what? You just might not play, or you might not be in Philadelphia anymore. It's no longer this mindset of your manager is your best friend or ex-teammate and very loosey-goosey in the clubhouse. You have someone who will make sure there is structure involved in that clubhouse, and that's how it should be. That's what it needs to be. I'm pumped. I really am pumped. He will use analytics, and that's the way to do it. And the big thing, though, also, he will most likely have a bullpen that has set roles. That's something he has had in his career, a set bullpen, which is great. But he also is managing a big market. He managed for the New York Yankees for 10 seasons. That's impressive, right? And at some point, the message runs dry. There's no denying that. After so long, it's okay, maybe we need someone new. We need a new spark. That's fine. That's sports. That's the nature of the beast with coaching and managing in any sport. So I'm not going to say, whoa, he got fired, so clearly he stinks. No. It's definitely not to that degree. But if you can manage in New York City for 10 years, you can manage in Philadelphia. And he's just a baseball guy, and he'll understand the fan base, and he can relate to the fan base in the right way, and that matters. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. All you need to do is win games. Now, you need to have a sort of relationship of some sort, and Gabe Kapler didn't have that. It was almost as if he went out and tried to get kicked out of the game. It was fake, and he was just doing it to try and earn our respect. But we don't buy into that crap. We knew it was fake. We knew it was garbage, so the message didn't work. But if Joe Girardi goes out there and he's pissed off and he's discussing, he's kicking dirt on the umpire, we're going to really embrace it and really find it so motivating because he means it. He's a legit baseball guy, and things actually tick him off. Gabe doing it with the stupid chain in his pocket and the sunglasses, it's all crap, and it wasn't real. It was fake emotion. He was trying to sell that to us. Joe Girardi doesn't have to sell us that. We know how passionate he is about the game. We understand how much he knows these situations and how to manage. We know that. I think it's big that we do have players that are intriguing. I don't think Joe Girardi would have took a job where it's a dumpster fire. And as much as we say it's a dumpster fire, and I mean, I guess it is a little bit, we might be being a little harsh, right? You do have Bryce Harper, you do have Andrew McCutchen still, you do have Aaron Nola, JT Realmuto. There is a foundation. And we hired a new scout, which is big, from the Yankees, Brian Barber. So there's structure now in terms of maybe figuring out this scouting problem, and Joe's going to bring in some of his guys as well, and there is a foundation, and hell, even John Middleton. Like, we rip apart Matt Klentak and Andy McPhail. We actually rip apart John Middleton for his process of firing Gabe Kapler and even giving those two an extension. But after this process and seeing that he's willing to overstep who he needs to make sure he puts his team in the best position to win and trying to go get that trophy back, I think that rubbed off on Joe Girardi, and he realizes this owner is dead serious on getting the job done. He is so passionate about getting that trophy back to Philadelphia, and it seemed like him and Joe Girardi were on the right page instantly. Like, Joe Girardi went around and interviewed for other places, and all the reports were Phillies, Joe Girardi on the same page. It went really well. They're bringing him back already for a second interview, so that's just something that I think is good in terms of where this organization is as a whole. There is a foundation, right? There are holes, and we get that, and you look at the NL East and the Braves and the Nationals are doing their thing. Where do they fall in their own division? It's not like we are the Marlins, or we are the Royals, or we are the Orioles. And with a new skipper, I think it puts us ahead of schedule with where we were with Gabe Kapler and whatnot, and even his eyes, and even the fact that he's been an analyst. I wonder if he's going to help out with some of the talent evaluation. Like, yo, Sean Rodriguez isn't going to fly. Yo, Nick Pivetta will not fly. And he's going to have his input on getting players who can seriously be a piece to the puzzle. Because we do have a lot of moves to make. We do need to find players in free agency. And I know we haven't drafted well, and hopefully this new scout can totally change things for the future. We have Bohm. We have Spencer Howard. Maybe they can make a push and be something for this season. But there is one way to fix that, and it's the owner spending money. You can't really buy championships. You do need to hit on some guys, and hopefully that's Spencer Howard and Alec Bohm. But if your owner is willing to spend money and go over the luxury tax, then we can be in business and we can figure this out. There are some things that need to happen, though. You got to buy a new pitching staff, starting pitching and bullpen. Would you move someone like Gene Segura? I know that's been a hot discussion. Like, did we overvalue Gene Segura and what he brings to the table? Does he have a personality that's kind of cancerous to the team? He doesn't work hard. He's not this guy who brings it every day. I don't see it to the insane degree that some do. He's still a 300 hitter, so he can be very productive. There's so many games where he gets 2-3 hits and he finds ways to get on base all the time. So I don't think it's a monstrous issue, but I have heard the conversation of maybe trying to move him and bring in another asset. We need to make moves, no doubt about it, but the hiring of Joe Girardi is big. At the end of the day, it's big. It changes the culture. It changes how these players are going to be in the clubhouse. Everything about the clubhouse has changed where there's more focus on the game. It was way too lackadaisical with Gabe. And you know what? Gabe might work out west in another market, in a West Coast market with a different type of team. Maybe it works, all right? He could take what he learned here in Philadelphia and apply it to another organization, and he may succeed. Sometimes you need to fail to succeed. No doubt about it, right? And I think Gabe Kapler is a good guy, but it did not work here in Philadelphia. The fact that it's not so lackadaisical anymore, he's going to have a message that's respected. Players are going to be somewhat afraid of him, yet he's going to be a friend at the same time, which is the perfect mix that you need. You need to respect your coach. And I know this isn't your coach, it's your manager, but you need to look up and respect these guys. They need to have a powerful message. They need to make sure you are focused every single game. And even things like, for example, Rhys Hoskins, right? If Rhys Hoskins is struggling big time, would Gabe Kapler just say, keep doing your thing, Rhys? Or, you'll snap out of it, Rhys. Maybe. Or maybe he would put input to Rhys Hoskins, and Rhys is thinking, dude, really? Gabe, you're telling me what to do? But if Joe Girardi, who's been around so long, tells Rhys, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, it's a different message, and it's from someone who is so involved in the sport of baseball. We'll see how it goes, but I'm a big fan of the move. This is the best available guy, and I'm very happy that the Phillies made the move. And I'm looking at John Middleton. I'm saying he's stepping in, but he needs to step in. It needs to happen. It does, and I'm proud of him for doing it. What does that mean for Klentak and McPhail? Who knows? But as long as we're making the correct decisions, that's all I care about. I don't care who's doing it. Just make the right ones, and we are doing that right now. So that's where we stand with the Phillies. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.